Overcoming the 5 hindrances by training the mind. Sit relaxed, feeling the whole body as we develop the 10 perfections. We will observe the body and mind with mindfulness. We can feel and know when we breathe in and out. Use the whole body as the base of mindfulness. If you don't want to observe the breath, you can move your hands and fingers and observe the feelings there. You can feel when you move your fingers, and you can observe your sitting body. The mind naturally has a duty to know, but to know what? It knows the objects that contact it through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Therefore, when we see, hear, smell, taste, touch, and think, the mind is responsible for being aware and knowing. Mindfulness and the mind are working together when there is contact at the 6 sense doors. When the 5 physical sense organs contact something that makes the mind feel happy, the knower mind objectively observes the contact that caused this happiness to arise. But if we don't have mindfulness, when the contact occurs, the mind will quickly become attached to the contact and happiness and wander off. Maintaining mindfulness of the base is crucial. We have to train the mind to observe the body in the present moment when it is sitting, breathing, and moving. But there are certain factors that hinder us when we try to train our mind to have mindfulness and right concentration. These are called the 5 hindrances. The 5 hindrances block us from developing wholesomeness, mindfulness, and right concentration. Knower mind. The 5 hindrances obstruct and trap us because the mind does not have enough strength, concentration, and mindfulness. Therefore, we have to train the mind to be strong when the 5 hindrances are present. They have both positive and negative qualities. Even though they obstruct us, if we can overcome them, the mind will become pure and stably observe at the base. So the 5 hindrances have benefits and are a great sparring partner for the mind to practice mindfulness and concentration. But if we don't practice correctly, the 5 hindrances can prevent and deceive us from practicing mindfulness and concentration. We need to cultivate the 10 perfections, such as effort, patience, and resoluteness, to overcome the 5 hindrances. Or else how can we eliminate the defilements that we have accumulated for many lives? The 5 hindrances are: 1. Sensual desire. When our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, known as the 5 physical sense organs, sense form, sound, smell, taste, and touch from the outside, we call these sense objects. Sensing them brings us satisfaction, causing sensual pleasure. Our mind then wanders off and clings to the form, sound, smell, taste, and touch of that object, like when we watch a movie, listen to music, play games, and so on. Then the mind becomes trapped by the sense pleasure and wants it to last forever. 2. Ill will. Ill will arises when there is contact at the 5 physical sense organs that irritates or annoys the mind, and we don't like it. When we don't get what we want, we become annoyed and angry. The sense object has caused lust and anger to arise, and the anger will control the mind to perform actions which cause future suffering. 3. Sloth and torpor. Sloth means laziness and indolence, while torpor is lethargy and tiredness. Sloth controls the mind to keep it dark and lacking in energy, and torpor controls the 3 mental aggregates: feeling, perception, and mental formation. So wholesomeness, such as mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom, cannot arise. When sloth and torpor control the mind and mental aggregates, sleepiness and laziness are already in power. We don't want to do anything, are tired, and sink into lethargy. 4. Restlessness and worry. Restlessness is a lack of mindfulness and calmness, and inability to stay focused on anything. Worry, in the context of the 5 hindrances, means attempting to calm the mind and develop mindfulness and concentration or wholesomeness, but being unable to do so, causing the mind to become angry and upset, the result of trying to calm restlessness. 5. Doubt is uncertainty about the Buddha Dhamma teachings and Sangha enlightened disciples, the middle path to free us from attachment, action, and the consequence of action, about how to practice mindfulness and the Noble Eightfold Path, and about the precepts, meditation, and wisdom. When the mind is clouded by doubt, we can't see any purpose or goal and are unable to practice the 4 foundations of mindfulness. We're stuck and can't move on to achieve our goal. The 5 hindrances cause the mind to wander from the base and away from practicing mindfulness. When practitioners are under their influence, we will see them sitting with the neck down, back bent, and not in the present moment. The opposite of the 5 hindrances are mindfulness and concentration. Those who cannot attain deep absorption concentration, or jhana, can practice one of the 4 foundations of mindfulness, developing one kind of base, such as seeing the body breathing in and out, saying Bud when breathing in and Do when breathing out, and being aware of the whole body. Most of us become sleepy when we sit and meditate, and may become upset with ourselves. We need to know that becoming sleepy or restless is a normal part of practice, and just objectively observe the sleepiness or restlessness. The mind may wander off, but this is also normal. Just know when this happens and bring it back to the base. Then we observe how the mind reacts to this phenomenon, whether we like it or dislike it, want it or don't want it. If we know that the mind has wandered off, just know it and bring it back to the base. There are 2 ways to overcome the 5 hindrances. 1. Those who cannot attain deep absorption concentration, or jhana, need to practice the 4 foundations of mindfulness with effort, patience, and resoluteness. This is called wisdom leading to concentration. When we practice mindfulness and the 5 hindrances arise, such as pain in the legs, sleepiness, or restlessness, we become annoyed, and anger arises toward the practice. This is the right time to practice mindfulness, to know and observe the mind if it is straying and attaching to these phenomena. Just objectively observe and come back to the base. If we do this over and over with effort, right mindfulness will arise spontaneously. When mindfulness is fully cultivated, it will be calm, stable, light, and quick to recognize the arising of the 5 hindrances. At this moment, the mind becomes strong and can overcome them. When we are distracted, we come back to the base, and a single moment of mindfulness has arisen at that time. Do this frequently until the mind is bright. Concentration and mindfulness together will automatically chase away the 5 hindrances, but we need to practice patiently. 2. For those who can do deep absorption concentration, or jhana, they should practice the jhana stages. Each one can chase away the 5 hindrances. Jhana Stage 1. Applied Thought. When the mind is experiencing sloth and torpor, we need to practice the first jhana, or applied thought, to chase away the sleepiness by making the mind busy and focusing at the base until it is stronger. Applied thought is the enemy of sleepiness and helps the mind to become bright with more energy. Jhana Stage 2. Sustained thought. When the mind experiences doubt, we need to generate sustained thought to chase it away. Jhana Stage 2. Rapture or joy. When the mind experiences ill will, we need to generate rapture or joy to chase it away. Jhana Stage 3. Happiness. When the mind experiences restlessness and worry, we need to generate happiness to chase it away. And Jhana Stage 4. One-pointedness. When the mind experiences sensual desire, we need to generate one-pointedness to chase it away. The moment that we are facing the 5 hindrances can be considered a great opportunity to practice to make the mind and faculties stronger. Our susceptibility to the 5 hindrances is also an indicator of whether or not the mind will still sink into the sense objects. Those who can do deep absorption concentration or jhana can use concentration to overcome them, but those who cannot only have to practice the 4 foundations of mindfulness to observe and overcome them. If the mind becomes strong, bright, and light, the 5 hindrances will gradually go away by themselves. When we are facing suffering and crisis, it is important to be in the present moment and patiently stay at the base with resoluteness. The more we are patient with the 5 hindrances, the more we will be able to overcome and handle problems in life, and the mind will understand the crisis instead of sinking into it. We will be able to have mindfulness and wisdom to walk through the problem. Mindfulness is important every time and everywhere. When we are sitting and meditating, we need to observe the whole body sitting, breathing in and out, as the base of mindfulness. When contact at the 6 sense organs, the 5 aggregates, causes the mind to wander off, just know it and bring the mind back to the base. For example, when we are sitting and having leg pain and the mind wanders off and attaches to the pain, just know it and bring it back to the base. But if the pain causes annoyance or anger to arise and the mind wanders off and attaches to them, just observe it and bring it back to the base. Keep bringing the mind back to the base until it can remember the base and mindfulness is stronger, and eventually the mind will come back automatically. This is right mindfulness. Sometimes a thought may arise and the mind just knows there is thinking and does not sink into it, signifying that we have gradually developed right mindfulness as a result of our effort, patience, and resoluteness. The 5 hindrances is a good tool to help strengthen our mind, as they will help us to develop stronger mindfulness faculties. They have both benefits and disadvantages for our practice. If we don't know how to practice, they will prevent the mind from practicing mindfulness and concentration, so we won't be able to develop wisdom to free the mind from suffering. But if we practice correctly and overcome them with mindfulness and concentration, the mind will be calm, stable, light, and suitable for Vipassana meditation. Overcoming the 5 hindrances is called purifying the mind. Whoever can do this can move on to practice deep absorption concentration or the knower mind. Thank you for listening. I hope you can use this method to overcome the 5 hindrances and free yourself from suffering. Trisikkha Meditation Center, Plant City, Florida, USA.